Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good. I'm so sorry I was not able to post any videos last week. I was tied up with other tasks. Right, so today I'm here to talk about quarterly business review. So I'm going to share a few of the tips and you're going to make a note of what is needed for the quarterly business review and what has to be followed. So I'm sure this video is going to help everyone, whoever is the client facing or whoever is doing the quarterly business review. QBR is nothing but the quarterly business review. You can reframe it as a strategic business review, however you want it. But what has to be followed for the business review? But I feel do not miss out the quarterly business review. Do not, because quarterly business review is the only time that you can have an open discussion with your key stakeholders. So key stakeholders normally they do not join on the call every month or or for a weekly call, right? So they join only for the quarterly business review time. So that's the time you'll have a chance to talk or to reduce your churn, or you get a chance to sell for them. So business review is very important, guys. Make a note. So here are few tips that you have to keep it in mind while having a business review. So I'll be sharing few of tips as well as my experience, so that it will be helpful for you guys to grab few things, right? All right, so the tip number one is when appointment. So you have to fix an appointment a month before with an agenda. So you should know that who will be joining on the call. So you have to check which team has to join on the call. So everything that's very important, right? And then agenda, when you're sending an appointment, so when you're sending it a call invite, make sure the agenda is attached to the invite, and make sure that you ask clients, say that I'm sure all the organization has got the fixed slides, right? So you need to tell client, I have a fixed slide that for business review. So do you want to talk anything in addition, or do you want me to add up anything for the open discussion? Just check with them. So according to that, prepare an agenda, send it to them. And when I say that, as I said in 2 weeks before 2 calls, that stick on to the agenda, yes, it's very much needed, because when you're sending an agenda in prior, they're already prepared. They are already prepared for the questions and the discussions. So I'm not saying that do not miss out the agenda or do not add up anything. You can add up, but do not miss the agenda which you have already added for your invite, right? That's important. So the second thing is the presentation. So I'm sure all the organization has got the fixed slides, but my only request is do not read the slide. I mean, when I say that do not read the slide, do not read the numbers or figures which you have updated in the slides. Yes, it looks maybe that great, good looking presentation or slides, but make sure you make a story out of your data. That's very important. You have to create a story out of your data, so that the call is important. I mean, the call is interesting. So everyone on the call, the key stakeholders or your leadership team or management, so that they are attentive. And the call should not be boring. The call should be very interesting, so that everyone can interact and talk. Your story will make others to talk. Your story will make others to question you. So do not read the slides, do not read the numbers, because when you say that this is what it is you have achieved, this is what you have paid for this quarter, they are aware of it. That's because they have given a business to us, right? They're aware that what is that every month they are paying. They're aware that how much they have spent to the vendors. Everything they're aware of it. What you have to do it. So when I say that create a story out of your data, I can give you a tips. What I used to do it is, I used to, before getting into business review, I used to check what I spoke last 2 business review, what was the open action item on the monthly call, monthly review, and what was a takeaway for me for the business review. I always used to compare the report from this quarter to the previous quarter. So I used to say that from previous quarter, I'll pick up an example for the quarter 2 and quarter 3. So I used to compare the data of the quarter 3 to quarter 2. So what did I reduce for the quarter 3, or did I increase it? So if it is reduced, what is the achievement, what I did to like reduce it. So when it is reduced or you have done some savings, then it is a value added for you, right? So when it is increased, you need to know why it is increased. So what we can do it, is it controllable or it is out of control. So one is like where in case if the new service is added, obviously like the trend will go high. So in case if any disconnection happened, or if you have done some like savings, so because of that the trend has gone down, then it is like a accomplishment, right? So it's a very basic things to understand, but make a story out of it. That's what I'm saying. So do not read the numbers, make a story out of it. That's very important to keep everyone attentive, as well as that's your story should be impressive. That should make your clients impressive, right? So that's very important. And next point is be honest. In case if there was any escalation, or in case if the team did not meet the SLA, that is okay. It's a learning for everyone. Be honest and say sorry, and immediately like you should know what is the action to be taken, what action you have taken it. That is where like you need to discuss it. Have an open discussion, have an open talk. That's important. Let's be honest, right? And what I feel is when you have a key stakeholders on the call, or when you have your leadership on the call, you should know your audience. Without audience, it's going to be like just reading out like something, reading out the presentation will not help. So you should know who is your audience, what question they will ask, what will be like what do they keen into, what they wanted to improve. You should know your audience. So in case if they're like I'll give you an example, this is going to help you out. In case if there are like 10 people on the call, from the client side, okay, you can take it as 5, okay. So only 2 people are talking it, and like 3 are quiet. So when there 3 people are quiet, your concentration should go even to the 3 people who's quiet. You should think that why they are quiet, why they are not discussing. So when someone is quiet on the call, it is not good. I feel it is not good. You should know that why they are quiet. So what you can do is, I'm sure they would have helped you out in one or other report. Just recall that and say that thank you so much, Mr. X. Looks like you're quiet. Do you have any question? Say that I was able to like get this accomplished because of your help, and thank you so much. Say thanks. I'm not saying that put them on the spot or question them. No, that's the way to like pull the client into the conversation. So slowly like drag them to the conversation. So that's important, right? And your slides, do not like get like dump all the data, so that they get confused and you get confused, and you're like miss out on few things on the call. No, make sure that you have a standard slides, and it's only like 5 to 10 slides, not more than that. But your slides should talk more about your accomplishment, your savings. Do not prepare a slide without an accomplishment, because you should say that what you have accomplished for them. What is the accomplishment that your team has done it. That's the right time to like highlight the things, right? So accomplishment is very much needed. And the savings, which when we say the savings slides comes up, there will be a stars everywhere, right? So you need to say, even if it is a small dollar value of your savings, that's absolutely fine. But make sure your tone goes high when you talk about the savings. Say that my team has done this, even if it is like $10. Make sure your tone goes high and make that as like a great thing. I used to do that. So even if it is a small savings, I say that how the team, I used to make a story out of it. So how the team worked to get this small savings, and I used to make sure that the story is such a way that it was very tough, but still team was able to achieve it. That's how the savings slide you should be like talking it. That's going to be very impressive, guys. And value added, you need to use this word value added. So you need to say that see my team, this is what it was happening, but we identified, we fixed it, and we were able to get something as value added for your table. That's important. That's very much important. And in case in the last quarter, when you, since you're having a business review for the quarter one, in case if you're having the business review for the quarter one, make sure, in case if there was any escalation in the quarter four, it's okay, pick that up, talk about that. So few organizations or few leaders, they say that you should not be talking about the escalations which we had it. No, you need to talk, you need to highlight that we had this escalation, we were able to fix it, and you need to say that what is the action you have taken it, what the action the team has taken it or the organization has taken it, so that this escalation is not being repeated. That's very important. You need to pick up the escalation and highlight that and talk about it. In case if you're able to find that, say that we had kept this escalation, we took this as an action item and we have kept it in the observation, but we did not have the repeated escalation on the same issue. That's also an accomplishment, right? Because you have worked upon it, right? So that's very important. Talk about the escalation which you had it in the past. And next is about the initiative. You need to say, when I say initiative, what is the initiative and the plan you have it for your client for the next quarter. So your story should be in such a way that see, this is the defective, and I'm going to we have taken this as an initiative, we have taken this as a project to get this fixed. So when we fix this, this is the result you're going to have it. So this is the profit you're going to have it. This is where you're going to have the savings. So I'm using a different terms so that it will be useful for you guys, because so that you guys are not stick to one term. So that's where you have to talk about your initiatives and roadmaps. It's very important. You will never miss the roadmap slides, because that roadmap talks what the organization or what the product is waiting for the client on the next quarter, upcoming quarter, or for the next year. So that's where the roadmap is very much important. And then I always used to do one thing. I used to keep one slide after the initiative. Normally I talk. I say that what is the initiative. So initiative, I have taken it, but to understand what clients initiate, what clients want is, what the client is needed for, what is client is expecting from us for the next quarter or for the next upcoming year. So what I used to do is I used to ask them, I used to pitch for it, saying that Mr. Rex, what's your plan for the next quarter? What is your organization is looking for? So this question used to help me out to make a sale, as well as to get something on the make it as an accomplishment or value added. It was helping me a lot. So I'm sharing this tip with everyone. I used to ask clients, what is your plan? Do you need any help from my organization? Do you need any help from me? So that's where the conversation starts. So see, we have to say that we be open enough, say that these are the initiatives that we have for you. So it's not that client has asked for it, you have taken it proactively, saying that this is your initiative, right? So you need to understand what is client's expectation is. Maybe that they are going through with some other problem that where they don't want to discuss, but they have never discussed it. So how do you understand? How do you know about their what is their requirement is? QBR is the right time to talk. Ask them, what is your plan for the next quarter? What is your plan for next upcoming year? Do you need any help? What is your company's goal? If you ask this, what's your company's goal? That will help you out. So they will have the conversation, open conversation. What are they going through with? What are the expectation is? What is their plan is? What is their organization plan is? That's where you can work on. So that will help the team, the sales team or marketing team or your team to just jump in and make some sales, or that will be helpful to renew the contract. That will give you a hint whether they're going to stay with us or not. So all this this one question will help everyone, right? And the last slide, just leave it save last 10 minutes. I can say that just save last 10 minutes as an open discussion or open-ended dialogues, so that they can have a conversation. So if there is anything negative, just make it it's okay, just learning for everyone. Take it as a proactive, take it as a learning and make a note of it. But make sure after a call, send out an MOM, meetings or minutes of meetings. That's very much important with the slides. And but have the last slides, the last two things are very important. One is like, asking a client what's your goal is, what's your organization goal is. And then the last slide is for like, open-ended question. Do not read out the numbers, which very much important. Keep this in the mind. You're going to make a story out of it. But if you guys need any help, please do email me. As everyone is doing that, you can ping me on LinkedIn or you can message me. So I'll be happy to jump in and help you guys, and I can share a few more tips about the business review or strategic business review, which is going to help all the clients for the success. Right? I hope this video is helpful to everyone. Please like and subscribe, and please do comment on it. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Bye.